Hello everyone, I'm Anthony Liu from AZVR Mechanical Universe. Welcome back to Lesson 9, Part 2, Shackles, Hooks, and related capacity. In Part 1, we discussed the basic rigging hardware and the importance of using correct component for the lift. In this part, we will focus the three important ideas: shackles, hooks, and rated capacity. In rigging work, a small piece of hardware may carry the entire load. So, we must never judge a shackle or hook only by its size or appearance. We must check its rated capacity, its condition, and whether it is being used the correct directions. This lesson explains the basic safety principle for using shackles, hooks, and rated lifting hardware in rigging operations. It covers rated capacity, side loading, tape loading, safe launches, shock loading, and pre-use inspections. Shackles. A shackles is commonly used to connect the sling, chain, hook, or lifting points. There are different types of shackles, but in basic rigging, the most common use the anchor shackles and chain shackles. Before using shackles, always check the rated capacity. For here, mark it. The pin conditions, and whether the pin is fully seated. A damaged, bent, cracked, or badly worn shackles must not be used. Never replace a shackles pin here and here with an ordinary bolt. The original pin is part of the rated design. Correct shackle loading. A shackle is strongest when loaded in line with its main axis. This means the load should pull straight through the bowl and the pin. Side loading is dangerous because it reduces the effective capacity of the shackle. If the force is applied at angles, the shackles may be overloaded, even with the actual load seems small. This is one of the most common mistakes in rigging. The important message is correct the directions made. Hooks. Hooks used to connect the lifting equipment to the sling or load. Before using a hook, check whether the safe launch works here, whether the hook is cracked or bent. Here is means bent means deformations. Whether the throat opening has increased, is getting bigger size, and whether the hook is rated for the load. A hook should carry the load in bow of the hook, not on the tip, not on the tip. Tip loading is unsafe. If the hook is loaded on the tip, it can open, big size, deform, or release the load. Safety latch. Many lifting hooks have a safety latch. The latch helps prevent the sling, or attachment from accidentally slip out. But remember, a safety latch is not a load-bearing device. It is only retain the device. If the latch is broken, missing, or not closing properly, the hook should not be used until it is repaired or replaced. Rated capacity. Rated capacity means maximum load. Maximum load here. A lifting component is designed to carry under special conditions. You may also see terms such as WLL. This what means? It means working load limited. Release the load. Never exceed the rated capacity. Also remember, rated capacity is based on the correct use. If the component is side loaded, twist, shock loaded, or damaged, the real safe capacity may be much lower. Shock loading. Shock loading happens when the load is suddenly applied. For example, lifting too quickly, stopping suddenly, dropping slag out of the sling, or jerking the load. Shock loading can create a force much greater than the static weight of the load. A 1,000 kilos load may produce much more than 1,000 kilos. Equivalent force during sudden motion. This is why smooth lifting is important. Inspections before use. Before ever limited, inspect the rigging hardware. Here, for example, looking for cracks. Check cracks. Bending. Wear. Corrosions. Missing marking. Damaged pin. And deformation. If the rating mark is missing or unreadable, do not guess. Remove the component from service and ask a qualified person. In rigging, guessing is not acceptable. Practical ruler. Here is a simple practical ruler. Use only rated hardware. Use it in the correct directions. Inspect it before every lift. Never exceed the working load limited. This rule can prevent many rigging accidents. The hardware may look simple, but the force inside it can be very large. Good rigging is not only about the stress. It is about correct geometry, correct connection, and correct judgment. Closing. To summarize the lesson 9, part 2. Shackles and hooks are small components, but they are critical load-bearing parts. Always check the rated capacity. Always check the condition. Avoid side loading and tip loading. Avoid shock loading, and never use the damaged or unmarked lifting hardware. This lesson explains the basic safety principles for using shackles, hooks, and related lifting hardware in rigging operations. It covers rated capacity, sliding loading, tip loading, safety latch, shock loading, and pre-used inspections. In the next lesson, we will continue with more practical rigging safety examples and field decisions making. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, lift smart, and respect the load.